Okay, hi, I'm Stephen. What I'm proposing is to enable citizens to vote also online in elections. I think that the system in most European countries is outdated, and we should update it to match the preferences of the citizens, to match the preferences of our era. What I'm proposing is that the ballot box would exist still physically, would still elect your representatives by visiting governmental buildings, but also you could vote online through the internet. Let me give you an example from Estonia. I have two examples. I have an example of municipal elections and parliamentary elections. So firstly, the municipal. They happened in 2005 and in 2009. In 2005, Estonia presented the possibility to vote online. So in 2005, the overall turnout of electorate was 47.4%. In 2009, it was 60.6%. In 2005, out of those people who voted, 1.9% voted online. In 2009, 15.8% of voters voted online. In the parliamentary elections in 2007, 61.9% of eligible voters voted. Out of that, 5.5% voted online. In 2011, it increased to 63.5% of eligible voters that voted, and out of these, 24.3% voted online. So what these numbers mean? These numbers mean that in contrast with European trend of decreasing the turnout, the electorate turnout, Estonia is actually having more voters in elections. And the second important thing, through the time, as I described, voters are moving online. They are voting more online. They are not physically visiting the governmental buildings. So I would use this as a case study and use it for implementing online voting in more countries.
It's a good idea, I think. Also, I think there are some technical issues that I don't know how Estonia have resolved them, because I believe the ID security of the voter has to be incognito. No? The person, the ID has to be incognito. So, because if there is not, there are many dangers, and all the safety systems always come back.
Okay.
But I think we should, perhaps, Joanna can tell us, we should have an assured way that a good way to do this.
Okay.
To do this. Because the numbers, it's not. Sure, because the numbers of the voters, it's not the only important here. No. Because if all go to vote and they're under the gun, because if you don't vote, I will see your IP and I will come to your home. It doesn't mean anything.
Okay. Maybe
It's
just
important. The idea is important to have the imprisonment. Of course.
I get your idea. Quick thought to this. There are two biggest challenges in procedure of enabling online voting. The first is, of course, security issues. In Estonia, it's 2016 now, so they have it for 11 years. And there has, as far as I know, maybe Joanna could tell us, but there was no security breach.
We're taking a standard of democracy from Estonia, and we are applying it to Serbia, Albania, Croatia, Czech Republic, and so on and so forth. You cannot compare the democracy in Albania, Greece, Serbia, to the Sweden guys and to Danish guys and to Czech Republic guys. Okay?
Why not? Maybe we are getting somewhere else in the discussion. We're comparing democracy. This is a tool of democracy, not the state of democracy.
In Greece, we have this culture that says that the law says that if this number in this paper is not right, I can proceed to the what are you asking me to do. And so we say, okay, just change it with your best. And it's okay. It's okay. In England or in Germany, no one can imagine not to think to make this corruption, this correction. But in Greece, we are just okay. If we can bypass the process, I will do it. So the different cultures is very important, But I also believe that certain technology can help us to figure it out. It has to be resolved. It's 2016.
Thanks.
But it's important the quality and the quantity, not only the quantity, of the.
My question is, first I will come to John. What he said, he suggests the idea that he find the system of Estonia democracy that is good. I think he doesn't apply to any other country. He say that it is case study for him. So that's bottom line. So my question to you, Stefan, is that do you think that online voting, why online voting? For security reason or to facilitate the task of voting? Why not electronic vote? And we know that 100% or 50% of population are other 50% are young people, and adults do not know how to manipulate the online issue. So the youth who manipulate the online issue, they can change their vote for the other people to send to someone who the person who are voting don't want to. So it can be like this. Because for me, online issues are not very secure, like electronic. Electronic, for example, I'm coming to vote, I have my digital print finger, and I put my hand directly, it's good, it's more secure. But online issue, I think it's new to me. It's not very secure for me. Will you give me your own reason to facilitate for voter or for security reason?
First thing first, two challenges as I mentioned. The first is security. In Estonia they use, Joanna, you can help me, national IDs, is that so?
It's nothing super complicated. You have ID card and you have passports that you give signature, online signature to the documents. And you are responsible for things as you post to your Facebook, you're responsible for your post. Also, if you give online signature, you're responsible for this. And actually, I think it's even safer than going to old ways, because you this is identified. It's system that also helps our health system. For example, all my recipes, all of my data is down there, and this is covered.
So my question to Joanna, my question to you. So for you, 100% of Estonian citizens know how to use online.
No, everybody's not going online.
Okay, oh perfect. So
This is also regular.
yeah, so those who know, they can manipulate for those who doesn't know. The question is not that we receive your election, but it comes from you or not. Because those who know very well, they can vote for example, my father wanted to vote for someone, and I don't want to vote for this, and he told me, help me to vote, and I can say to someone who I want.
Can I interrupt?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Guys, at this stage of the process, we only need like short, straightforward versions.
If I can maybe react, I haven't still made it to the second challenge. Okay. So the first challenge was the security. The second challenge is the education of the public. And I believe that media campaign would be necessary for this, also to educate older people not to be abused.
When you promote online voting, do you exclude like an option the manual voting? Or we can use both?
Yeah, I said the ballot box would be still possible in physical form, and also virtual form would be like enhancement.
So you will need a very engineering specialized system for this.
Actually, what would you do is to have a register of voters that you have today also. For example, in Czech Republic, when you go voting, you go to the district where you live, the governmental building, to the city hall in the district where you live. And this district would see whether you voted in the ballot room, in the city hall, or you voted online. I think that this is like merging two lists and should not be that complicated. But of course, the complexity of the system should be great enough to cover the security threats.
When I meant security, I'm not afraid of the fact that I can vote only once. But when you log into the database, you have an ID card, so you have me, and then I vote, okay? So you have a correlation between me and my vote. That's the security that should be issued. And the second question is, I'm taking a part of the idea of Matus. Matus said that less educated people should be treated differently in some kind of ways, no? And online voting allows me that I'm not living in Albania, for example, for 4 years, to vote as the same as you that lives in Albania for those 4 years. Is this right for you?
The second, sorry.
Okay, I don't live in Albania since 1925. Since 2010, okay? So I don't live in Albania for the last 5 years. You live in Albania since you were born, okay? Online voting allows me to vote as same as you. Is it right for you?
Okay, so the first question about security. I'm not a security expert. I guess this question could be tackled by someone else. Maybe, as I said, using Estonia as a case study could help us to see the pros and also the cons, and at least have this as a start point. For the second, it is possible to vote in elections, in parliamentary elections, also if you live abroad at the embassy of the state you are living in. For example, if you didn't live in Albania, or if you don't live in Albania for 5 years, and you live in the United States, you live in New York, you can go to the Albanian embassy in New York and have your voice counted. You can elect your representatives also. So I don't think that omitting online voting only for citizens living in the country would make any greater sense, because if you live in a foreign country, you can also vote today.
I really would like to have online voting in elections in Ukraine. So just to sum up, could you please say short plan of action steps how to make it?
I would not try to be extremely concrete, as this would vary from a country, right? Like in Ukraine, you have certain security issues with the east and so on. But and every country has certain issues. But firstly, I would recommend creating at least some preparatory committee that would see the options, make some research, have it a few years, study like the Estonian example and other examples to see the pros and cons, whether and conduct some surveys to see if people in the country wants this, because it would cost a lot of money. if this would be if this would be completed and people would want it and the committee would say it is possible and it is that they can do it, then I would recommend starting a tender with this tender to make this IT system. Of course, there is a important question of education of the public to educate people about this option, and then introduce the voting in both forms, in the form of physical voting and in voting online. Also, and this is regarding to the Estonian example, there is a permanent committee that monitors the neutrality of voting and tries to cover the security issues and oversees the voting procedure so it would go well. I think that existence of such committee in any state that would implement online voting would be necessary too.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you.